back. Unless this is your first time here, I'm the Northwest Fisherman Chris, and today we got something a little bit special to talk about. We're talking about glide baits. Okay, this is the 6th Sense 9-inch glide bait. This is the big guy. This is the draw. It's slow sinking. I think this guy is 5 ounces, 4.5, somewhere in there. It's a big glide. Okay, not everybody can throw a big glide like this on like your medium heavy whatever. You really have to have a specific dedicated extra heavy swim bait rod. Okay, and this bait, it's a big bait. Okay, but here's the cool thing. This isn't the bait that we're talking about today in the video, which you probably already figured out from the description. 6th Sense thought of that, okay? And I'm actually kind of really excited about this because a lot of times I will have something nail this big glide, but for whatever, like it's just either not big enough to take it, or it's, you guys, if you guys fish glide baits, you kind of know exactly what I'm talking about. Is that sometimes they just get obliterated and there's not a good hookup. Or you get them up close to the side of the boat and they're thrashing around with that big 4 or 5 inch glide, or 4 or 5 ounce glide, and because of the weight, they just throw it. It happens. But this is the new 6th Sense draw and 6.5 inch glide. Slow sink, just like the bigger one. I've actually had this one for a while. Probably ended up doing a giveaway for this guy here pretty soon, because that was the first time I actually ever took it out of the box. And we're just going to put it back in the box because I have one identical to this. But lucky for me, it was the same color as the one I got. Actually, is it? Cajun Gill. And then this was... Oh, no, it's not the same color. Pretty close, though. Anyway, this is the new 6.5 inch glide. This is the draw. The new smaller one, and this one is light enough. Oh, get it unhooked here. Okay. So this guy, 6.5 inches. Got the really nice box here, and it's only an ounce. Okay. Okay, my mistake. This is 3.25 ounces. 1 ounce, 3.25. Definitely a size difference here. Okay, so 6 inch glide, 9 inch glide. But sometimes you're not going to want to throw the 9 inch glide, but you still want to throw the glide. So, or if you're want to get into swim baits, but you don't want to go all the way down the rabbit hole of getting a dedicated swim bait rod, you can totally throw this on your heavy flipping stick, or you can totally throw this on your heavy jig rod. You probably even throw this on a medium heavy fast and get away with it for a while till you decide, I really like fishing swim baits and I want to throw bigger ones. Okay? And it is identical to the big glide, the big draw, in just about every way. And this is a super choppy bait. When you fish this, you're just going to want to chop the reel. Because glide swim baits, they don't get their action so much from rod movement. It's really none at all. Depending on who you talk to, I guess, because I've heard people say you give the action by the rod. I've never had that experience. I've always had that experience with doing it all with my rod, or with my reel. So you do like a crank, fast crank, let it sit for a little bit, drift down a little bit, then fast crank, just kind of come up with what's going on. Keep in mind of your water depth, because once these hook up with something, preferably a fish, I mean realistically, preferably a bass, a big bass, but there's a chance you're gonna hook up with a tree down there. Just keep that in mind, and then just quick cranks, just crank, 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 crank. And while it's under there, this thing's just it's gonna blast, it's gonna choose a direction, and then it's gonna slow fall. Till you crack it again, just swing the other way. Or you can do a steady retrieve with it. And it's just going to glide back and forth. Okay? Glide baits are really neat. They're really cool. And there's a little bit of a learning curve getting on top of it. But I'm super pumped. This is the 4K bluegill, I believe. Yeah. No, live bluegill. I went with the live bluegill. Now I've hooked up with 10-inch bass on a 9-inch glide. Okay? And it's almost ridiculous if you do hook up with like a smaller bass that just decided that it wanted to take a big bite out of the big glide because they reel in like dead weight. They don't even really fight because I think they're just confused. But I really cannot wait to throw this. This is going to be so exciting. And I can throw this. I don't have to throw it on my dedicated big swim bait rod. This is a lot like the Trace and the new 5-inch Trace. You can kind of throw it on whatever, and it's not quite so... Because big baits, they draw from a long ways away. But not necessarily do you always want to throw the 9-inch glide. You got the 6-inch option now. And the paint on this thing is awesome. The hardware on this thing is awesome. The only thing that I kind of wish that they would have opted for on both the draws are EWG style treble hooks. That's the only thing, but I don't really think it would make that much of a difference, honestly. Especially when they're thrashing around 4 ounces. But, yeah. This is awesome. I'm super excited about this. And they have a little bit of a rattle, which is cool. Besides the just amount of water that they displace. But, yeah. So that's the end of this video. I just want to show this to you guys. I was super excited to get my hands on this finally. And I was super excited when it came out. So, alright guys, take care. Water temps are coming up. We're pre-spawn, spawn, and post-spawn. This is a great time to throw your glides right out there, right off the spawning flats. If you get like a spawning area, and then you get like a slump, or you get like a plateau. I love throwing the draw and the Trace and all of my swim baits right on those grass lines and lakes, and you just work it. It doesn't always work, but when it does work, it's always worth it. Alright guys, anyway, temps are coming up, water temps are awesome, sun's coming out, days are getting longer, perfect time to get out there. FAFO. Fish around and find out. Take care, guys. I'll catch you later.